Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Greens, episode 167. And I do that every doggone time, don't I? There, is that fixed? No? Alright. How about now? Is that fixed? Yes, that's fixed. Alright, well, we're going to have a fantastic show. I'm so glad you guys are here. How's the video looking? Frozen? Good now? Alright. It's fine? Great. Thank you. Fantastic. I'm so thrilled. Ryu Wolf Girl says, hello, Ox. Fan art coming to you in a second. Very nice. Glad to have your fan art. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I think I got one piece of fan art this week. Or no, that was left over from last week. Anyway, we'll take a look at it. I'll check my email right now, see if anything has come in. But I'll be sure to check my email throughout the period of the show and show off any fan art. But today we have a fantastic episode for you all, for many reasons. A, I am here. That is reason to celebrate. I'm just saying. It is time to break out some gentlemanly beverages and some celebratory stogies for no other reason than I am here. The world has spun around for one more day. 7 more days, actually, and I still exist to enjoy it. That is definitely worth celebrating. Mike Chesel says, Grat! Internet issues. I should be able to make it tonight, but I may be late. Save some bacon for me, please. Absolutely, Mike. We will be sure to save you some bacon. But before we get to the bacon, as important as it is, we must, of course, first pour the scotch. Today we're drinking Scoresby, which is a fine scotch, not my favorite scotch, but a fine scotch nonetheless. Greg Hartung says you're going to break out some ale in celebration of Brewfest. Quite possibly. My beautiful wife and I celebrated the presidential debates last night by drinking a little bit of ale. A very small amount, mind you, but it was delicious nonetheless, and it had been a very long time since I had had ale. So cheers, ladies and gentlemen, bottoms up to both ale for in celebration of Brewfest, and for those who do not have ale, scotch. Cheers. Goldbreath says, I hope it didn't ail you. No, actually that was pretty good. Today, I have one match left. One match left. I've got to make this count. So I ran out of cigars. I went to the local tobacconist and I found this box for sale. And they wanted $2 for it. And I'm like, really? So this is a cedar box made from actual beautiful cedar, and you're going to sell it for $2? Sold! And I got it home and I was feeling pretty thrilled. And then I opened it up, and lo and behold, it had a few stogies inside. A few fine numbers. So all in all, I'd say I got a rather good deal on this bad boy. And so I am going to be smoking one of these cigars for you today. Bearing Corona Royale. So the cigars that I purchased are not the cigars that came in this box. This is a pretty slick looking box, I gotta say. Premium hand-rolled cigars. Look at that. Is that Magellan? I don't even know. Who's that supposed to be? Anyway, I'm not smoking a Bearing Corona Royale, sadly. Instead, I am smoking a Don Mateo, which is also a fantastic little stogie. I am having a lot of lag, says Thalamus. Anyone else having lag? I need to know whether or not it's me or if it's Thalamus. If it's me, there are things I could do. If not, nope, you're all good? Great. It's you, Thalamus. I'm so sorry. I am doing nothing wrong. Anyway, we have a fantastic... So, actually, before I get into that, I wanted to share something with you guys. Now, I tweeted this out... Let's see. When was it? Yesterday? I tweeted this out yesterday, and it's an infographic on how to light and enjoy the cigar. Forrest says that's the guy the Bering Strait is named after. I see. So that is why his name is Bering. Gotcha. Alright, we're gonna do some magic here if possible. There we go. How to smoke a cigar infographic. I tweeted this out. I thought it was a lot of fun. And we are going to follow every step in this program today while we light up our fine stogies. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. Alright, how to smoke a cigar. We're going to go through this entire infographic. It has some really good advice. Firstly, take your time. To thoroughly appreciate your cigar, smoke slowly. Drawing too frequently will heat up the cigar and spoil its taste. You should take about a puff a minute. Allow yourself at least an hour to properly appreciate the cigar. This show is about an hour, right? So I think that is plenty of time to properly enjoy the cigar. Inhaling. You should not inhale cigar smoke. Cigars are designed to enjoy their flavor and body without inhaling. Many people think that I'm lying when I say that you do not inhale a cigar. But that couldn't be further from the truth. As this infographic demonstrates, you do not inhale cigar smoke. You just bring it into your mouth and enjoy the flavor. When to put it out. When a cigar begins to emit too much heat and leaves an aftertaste in your mouth, generally during the last 2 inches, it is time to put it out. Normally one does not extinguish a cigar, like a cigarette, by crushing it into an ashtray. Instead, just set it in an ashtray and let it stop burning by itself. Alright, now, time to light a cigar. Now, remember how finicky I have been in the past on using lighters and why not to use lighters. There are good reasons for this. I'm going to start over here on the left. Before you light up, if you use a match, wait till the sulfur burns off before using it to light your cigar. And the reason for that is because you don't want your cigar to taste like sulfur. 2. If you use a lighter, use one with butane. Gasoline-based lighters impart a foul flavor to your smoke. And that is a clarification for those of you who knew of my hatred towards lighters and yet saw me using one. I was using a butane lighter, not a gas lighter. 3. Some people insist that the only proper way to light up a cigar is by using a cedar spill. A cedar spill is a long thin strip of Spanish cedar which is lit first and then used to light the cigar. I think I actually may have some, if I can dive into my humidor really quick. If not, I will be forced to use a match, which is still good because I do have some matches. Cedar spill. Cedar spill. Do I have a cedar spill? This is what I get for stacking things on top of my lovely humidor. And no. Well, actually... Oh, I forgot I had these. These are my Cuban cigars. Actually, they're my buddy Mark's, but he let me hold on to them. And how are they? Hey, look at that. Oh, okay, so before... I'm going to have to maximize this so that you can see the beauty of this. These are my Cubans. I'm saving these. I'm going to celebrate with Mark with them. But inside, the inside of the tube is wrapped and lined with a cedar spill, which you can unroll. This is just cedar wood. Cedar wood is an aromatic wood. It is beautiful for lighting cigars. My buddy Mark doesn't typically like lighting with cedar, so I'm not going to feel bad for taking it. But if he decides he wants cedar, he can always have mine. Alright, so we have our match. We have our cedar spill. It's a long and thin strip of Spanish cedar which is lit first and then used to light the cigar, alright? So this is, yeah, I realize that this is a long segment of the program, but look, we've been doing this program for 167 weeks, and that entire time you've had to take my word. But now I am offering proof as to how gentlemen light cigars. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an educational episode where we are going to be going through the process of teaching people the art and skill of refinement. This is a refined thing to do. So here we go. Actually, before I light it on fire, let's go through the steps to light a cigar, alright? So we're over here on the right. Preheat the foot, the open end, by slowly rolling the cigar above the flame at an angle until a tiny black ring forms all the way around the wrapper. Don't allow the flame to touch the cigar. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2. With the cigar in your mouth and drawing in as you go through this process, slowly roll the cigar at an angle above the flame without letting the lighter flame actually touch the cigar. Remember to slowly spin the cigar to establish an even burn. Alright. Once the cigar is lit, pull it from your mouth and examine the glowing foot to ensure... Well, they spelled ensure wrong. Ouch. To ensure it is... Actually, never mind. Hold on. I'm thinking of the laxative. Anyway, it is fully lit from end to end. If the burn is uneven, repeat the previous step on the appropriate side until an even burn is achieved. If you are outdoors in windy conditions or shelter is not accessible, flame torch the foot and deal with the initial bitterness to ensure a fast, even light. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, time to light this bad boy. I've got my cedar spill, and I'm going to light it. But first we need to cut it. How to cut a cigar. I have my guillotine right here. A clean cut made with a quality cigar cutter in the right place is key. To ensure a clean cut and to avoid tearing the wrapper, cut just before the cap, leaving about 3 to 4 millimeters. For best results, try making one quick, strong cut. Alright, here we go. Think I can do it? That's the cap. 3 or 4 millimeters, is that about right? Alright, one quick, strong, clean cut. Let's see. Any wrapper coming off? Oh, a little bit. Oh, but it's ever so small. And it just floats right off like that. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, to light the spill. Here we go. I'm going to pack it tight, or wrap it tightly. Here we go. Use my lighter, shaver match. Alright. So what did it say? Toast the cigar without getting it in the flame. Alright. I'm going to toast the end of the cigar until it's nice and black. It's kind of dancing in the flame, but it's not really in the flame. See how black that is? Nice and black. Alright. Now, let's light the cigar. We roll it without touching the flame. Ah! Whoa! That's fire coming down the tube of a cedar roll. Pretty cool, but look at that. Perfect. It's perfectly circular. It is very infrequently that a man can enjoy such a perfect burn, but we've got a perfect cut and a perfect burn right off of the bat. Cool Breath says, Oxhorn, fire hot. Zug zug. Yes, me know fire hot. Me singe finger on frequent occasion. Alright, let's finish the rest of this infographic. How to ash a cigar. It is not necessary to tap or shake a cigar to make its ash fall prematurely. Nor is there a need to try and keep the ash building up as long as possible, which I actually have been, I can be accused of doing that. If the ash is too long, it obstructs the airflow and irregular burning can occur. Alright. Not too long just yet. Just yet we started. How to enjoy a cigar. Give yourself time, enjoy a cigar in moderation, and consider the amount of time you have to smoke. Indeed, I have about an hour, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm going to enjoy this cigar. Location. Choose a spot where you could enjoy your favorite cigar. Some options are in an established cigar lounge, club, or restaurant. Can't do that here in Seattle. They passed laws against doing that up here. It's really sad. Sitting quietly by yourself outside your home or in your favorite smoking spot. That is what I am doing. However, I am not actually alone. I am with all of you fine ladies and gentlemen. We are enjoying a gentlemanly stogie together. 3. The ultimate way to enjoy a cigar is sitting outside having some good conversation with family or friends after a nice dinner or during a special occasion. We have a mix of 2 and 3 here today. I am with friends, yet I'm not outside, nor have I eaten. So I'm kind of doing this on an empty stomach. But, you know, we're getting through. Alright, now let's see if they mention Scotch. Choose an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage you would like to sip on while enjoying your cigar. We suggest a good whiskey, which is similar to Scotch, or cognac. Some prefer port, or a glass of Murloc, Chardonnay, or a Pinot. Others enjoy sipping a soda, cranberry, or lemonade and water. And then the rest is all about etiquette, but since I have no one to offend, I am here to just enjoy myself. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up. I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday evening. Join me for some Scotch and a gentlemanly story. There are other rules to the art and craft of smoking a gentlemanly. They are, never hold it like this. This is how ladies hold cigarettes. Or cigarillos. No, we don't do this. We don't lift our pinkies. We do this. Hold it with your thumb and index finger, or with this finger on it as well. Never like this. Alright. Well, how are you enjoying this whole Mists of Pandaria thing? I'm sure many of you have been playing it to date. I am not one of you. I would love to play, but sadly, the rigors of daily life are getting in the way of my playing World of Warcraft. That is just the way of things. I do not complain. Oh well. Instead, we're going to be enjoying Gentlemanly's, and I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. I have played it, says H Star. I'm raiding an EverQuest and having a blast in Pandaria, says Caramel Chocolate. You know, I don't know if... Oh, okay, 2 computers, right? Okay, that makes sense. The Saintex says, all hail the king of neckbeards. Indeed, bow before the neckbeard. It is there, give it tribute. In all of its gloriousness. Okay, there are a few people on Twitch TV who are being ungentlemanly. No, this is not a blunt, so to speak. It does have a blunt end, of course. It's not sharp in any way. But it is not a drug, as many of you would call these things. This is a gentlemanly pursuit. Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me. So are any of you familiar with the preacher Spurgeon, I believe his name is? He said many things. And one of them that I really liked is that he was a voracious cigar smoker. Many people may not think of Christians being able to smoke cigars. However, I am a Christian and I smoke cigars, so I, of course, am akin to Mr. Spurgeon. And he wrapped it up like this. Smoke cigars to the glory of God. That is what I'm going to do today. Ladies and gentlemen, bottoms up. Let's smoke cigars to the glory of God. Pandas, says Ghoulbreath, my friend. We need not interject pandas into every sentence. Ryu Wolfgirl says, Zug Zug is larger since last I saw Oxhorn, my fine fellow. What is your secret? Time. Really? I just don't trim it. I don't touch it. I let the beard do what the beard does best, and that is grow and look manly. GrowABeardNow.com, ladies and gentlemen. GrowABeardNow.com. ThunderGuard91 says, Brandon, next week I better see you puffing on my favorite stogies. Check your P.O. box when you get a chance. That is, sir. Thank you very much. I am so glad to hear. This is one of my final cigars, so I hope to open my P.O. box this weekend and see a fantastic collection of gentlemanly stogies. Horus says we've got a pastor and a rabbi who smoke at our local shop. Fascinating. I wish I lived really close to you. I would love to go to a local shop and enjoy a gentlemanly conversation with a pastor and a rabbi over cigars. Adjuis says, "You're in the wrong decade, don't you think, lol? My friend, I am in the right decade. Doing the right thing, smoking the right cigar, drinking the right scotch, with just the right people." The Phantom Freak says, "Let's see some smoke rings, bro." You know what? That I can manage. You want smoke rings? Well, dear sir, you have come to the right place, for I can provide none other than rings made of smoke. A few good ones there. Let's see if we can get some better ones in here. There you go. One puff a minute, Ox, not more, says Vajay. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't be smoking this more than one puff a minute. Alright. I guess I'll hold it here and answer questions while I wait for the next minute to come on in. Let's see. What have we got here? What have we got here? Can you blow different smoke shapes? Says yes. Scoff 99. Yes. Kidge Widge Kidge says, can you do a ship like Gandalf? Absolutely. In fact, every week at the end of the program, I blow a smoke ship. Stick with us. Stay till the end of the program. We end at 7 o'clock here, which is in about 40 minutes. And I will blow a smoke ship based on your suggestions. That's right. You guys describe the smoke ship you'd like me to blow, and I will do so. Vijay says, remember, stay true to the classy smoking. Indeed, we opened the program reading an interesting, classy infographic about how to smoke a cigar properly. And one thing it didn't mention, which you are absolutely correct in, is really just one puff every 60 seconds. You don't want it to get too hot. You don't want to get some sort of nasty burn going on there. So just once every 60 seconds. There you go. How's that? Cheers. Blow the Batman logo. Blow the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. Blow a frigate. Okay, these are all really great ideas, but hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your ideas. Save them for the end of the program, when we will do that very thing. We will blow all of these great smoke ships into existence. By the way, for those of you on Twitch TV, I am so glad you're here. We are actually streaming from scotchandsmokerings.com. That's where the majority of our chatters are. The majority of people engaging in chat are at scotchandsmokerings.com. So if you see me answering their questions, that's why. Feel free to join us there if you wish. Greg Hartung says, I've been rocking on my monk lately. I believe you two would enjoy it. The Brewmaster spec would fit you well, given you have an ox stance and use brews as tools. That's actually fairly, that's a great connection right there. When I was in the beta, I played the Brewmaster myself, and it seemed fairly intuitive, and I enjoyed it. I really need to sit down and buy the game and dedicate some time to playing it. One of these days, one of these days. Forrest Ill on Twitter says, smoking a swag that you smoked weeks ago, only bigger, with tea. Very good. That's an interesting combination. I actually have never tried smoking a cigar while drinking tea before. I hope it's a hot tea at least, not an iced tea. You're gonna have to let me know how that works. If it interferes with the flavor, because I know tea can be very strong, and it's not really a cold beverage, so interesting. That'd have to be interesting. So, due to appeal to the infographic's wishes, we're going to knock off the ash of our cigar here a little bit. That wasn't too early. I didn't have to force it off. It just kind of fell. I'll dump it into my bigger thing over there. TRX Illa Ninja on Twitch TV says, I can't wait to get a job so I can actually try smoking cigars. Getting a job is a fantastic thing. I highly recommend you get one. There is very little that makes you feel better at the end of the day than having worked a good 8 hours or 9. But, you know, cigars are not quite as expensive as they used to be. In fact, you can go online and purchase a bulk deal, maybe spend $60 on a good big box of cigars, and it'll last you a very long time since you smoke infrequently. So they're not really for rich people anymore. Bob the Murloc says, I'm just going to invent a money tree and stay home all the time. Well, my friend, if you ever figure that out, please let me know. Don't let Oxhorn go poor because he doesn't know the secret. Share your secrets. I will also plant a money tree, and together we can smoke cigars that are $1,000 a stick, right? Because that's the goal. $1,000 stick cigars, the goal of life. Vaggy says, Oxhorn, have you ever tried the Swedish Scandinavian tobacco called snus? I am familiar with it, but I have not tried it myself. I don't know if I really want to. That's the smokeless tobacco, right? I'm not really into that kind of tobacco. That's not my thing. I prefer something that you can set on fire and enjoy slowly over the course of a day. Ryu Wolf Girl says, Dear fellow of class, I sent you an epic Raiders tribute. It has made its way to your inbox. Take your time to view it, however. I would love to hear your opinion before I must leave. Alright, I'll check it real quick. And I don't see it yet, so I will continue to check my mail here. And I hope to see it soon, but at the moment it is not here. But I'll keep checking. Caramel Chocolate says, Ox, would you recommend a good pipe to buy if I wanted to smoke something more casually / occasionally? Apparently I live off of a stop in Boston. Yeah, go ahead and get yourself... So if you want a pipe, there are really mainly two kinds. There's meerschaum pipes and then briar tobacco pipes. Both are really high quality. A meerschaum pipe takes less effort to figure out how to smoke. You don't have to cure a meerschaum pipe. It's already ready to go as soon as you purchase it. If you buy a briar pipe, then you have to cure it a few times. You gotta burn the barrel a few times until a layer of carbon builds up on the inside. And that will offer a smooth and better tasting smoke. But meerschaum tends to be expensive, so find yourself a nice briar pipe, fairly inexpensive. Make sure it's made from solid briar, not pressed briar, and invest some time and energy into that one. Goldbreath says, Oxhorn, good sir, we have members in chat who must hear the story of Bob the Murloc. They have yet to hear it. I don't, they definitely need to hear it. I don't believe I have the submission with me at hand right now, or else I would pull it up. But basically, Bob the Murloc is a character, and look, Bob the Murloc is here in chat. Bob the Murloc was a character in a short story competition that I ran, and that particular short story won because I loved it so much. And then Bob the Murloc died. Hate to spoil the ending for everybody, but it definitely resonated with the viewers here at scotchandsmokerings.com. DKJ on Twitch TV says, invest some time and energy into lung cancer. I've seen weirder hobbies. No thanks. No thanks. See, one of the nice things about cigars is you don't actually inhale the smoke, so yeah, no lung cancer. Weird, huh? Goldbreath says, wait, how did he die again? I think it ends with, and Bob died. Not necessarily an explanation given on that one, I would say. No One Glad says, what are some of the most expensive cigars individually, and how much are they? So the way that works is, so you could go, like this particular one was a fairly inexpensive cigar. I bought it at a shop for $2. Cheap cigar. You can get some fairly nice quality cigars online for $1 a stick. It's really hard to get cigars that are cheaper than $1 a stick. So that's basically the price of them. If you want a really high quality cigar, you're going to pay $16 to $17 per cigar. Have I ever smoked a Cuban, says Dom Mies? Yes. TRX Ella Ninja says Cuban cigars because they're illegal. They are illegal in the United States, but they're not illegal in other places of the world, and that is where I smoked my Cuban cigar. I went to Canada and I smoked a Cuban cigar there because it was not illegal, and that particular cigar was $30. $30 for one cigar. Never doing that again in my life, but I wanted to be able to say I smoked a Cuban cigar. And it was pretty good. Would I say that it's worth $30? No, it wasn't worth $30, but it was tasty. One of the best cigars that I ever had that was actually worth the price I paid for it was a $14 cigar that I purchased at an airport in Alabama? Was it an Alabama airport? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, no, it was Georgia. It was an airport in Georgia. And I found a $14 cigar there. It was called an Egg Maduro. It was a Maduro cigar by Gray. The company was called Gray something, but it was in an egg shape. Like it literally went like an egg, and it was really, really tasty. Very tasty cigar. What's the difference between cigars, says Dick JJ? Quite a lot, actually. So there are many different kinds of leaves grown throughout the world. Some are grown in Honduras, some in the Dominican Republic. Depending on the seed of tobacco and where it's grown, depends on the flavor. So one of the reasons Cuban cigars are so popular is because apparently Cuban soil imparts a very particular flavor, a spicy flavor to the cigar that is hard to duplicate. Which is why you can actually get seeds from the plant that grows in Cuba, plant them in Honduras, grow a Cuban tobacco plant, make a cigar out of it, but it'll taste completely different from a Cuban cigar because it was not grown on Cuban soil. There are many different flavors, many different styles. You cure them. It's kind of like a Scotch or a wine. You make the cigar and then you set it in a humidor for years at a time so that it can cure. And once it's cured, it'll take on some age and some darkness and make it taste a bit different. The way I would categorize the flavor of it of a good cigar, a little bit spicy, a little bit very aromatic, kind of like a not potpourri. Potpourri is too strong, but just a very it's very aromatic. It has a particular scent to it, and it tastes earthy, like an earthy taste. So yeah, it's a hobby. What can I say? It's a hobby. I should be talking about World of Warcraft, right? Or playing the game. But we're having a good time this Thursday night, right? Evander says, is this the new Pandaren expansion? Yes. Right here. I am the new Pandaren expansion. Prove me wrong, right? Pandas, 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 pandas. When World of Warcraft sat down, when Blizzard, when they decided to make the next expansion, they said, what do we need to do? We need to make Oxhorn. And that's why they put a lot of fantastic booze into the next expansion. And they made all of their main characters a little bit tubby, right? Dolls CS Fresh says, Oxhorn is streaming. Indeed I am, sir. Pleasure to have you here. What class do you play and what race, says Willa54? I play a druid, a level 85 druid, and Taran. How are you asking that? You should know, right? Terez Boss says, Oxhorn, pleasure to see you, fine fellow. Great to have you here at scotchandsmokerings.com. Ox, any new machinima updates, says Ghoulbreath? Absolutely. In fact, I've been working on one last night. I finished a new scene for a new machinima movie just last night. It's a sailing movie. It takes place in the middle of the ocean. There are all sorts of fantastic and fine people in this machinima. It's kind of dark. It's a little foreboding, but it is going to be a fantastic movie. I'm really looking forward to getting it done. I'm probably going to get it done next month. So sometime next month, be sure to go to oxhorn.com and check it out. That's where you'll find it. But of course, I'll show it off here at scotchandsmokerings.com. Thundergun91 says, I will note, Brandon, you look rather dapper this eve. Why, thank you very much. I do try to make sure my appearance is good. But you know, I got this shirt is wrinkly. Yeah. I need it ironed. Utrecht says you're gonna get cancer. Stop that smoking. Yeah, I guess I should stop driving in a car too. I get cancer. Or holding cell phones up to my ear. Cancer of the temple. Right? Or standing outside during acid rain. Or eating beef. Cancer. Did you know that someone, there was a recent article that said that you have a 75% greater chance of getting cancer if you drink bottled water because of the plastic from the bottles? Ridiculous, right? But hey, I gotta worry about cancer. Seeks Gaming says, will you make a new Christmas Thanksgiving video this year? You rock, by the way. Pleasure to have you here. And the answer is yes. I actually finished the script for a brand new Christmas song that I'm working on right now. And I plan to finish the movie before Christmas. Last year, I actually... okay, the goal of that story, Bob the Murloc, was not to scare you, alright? You don't have to stop drinking bottled water. I didn't mean to freak you out. I'm just saying, look, the moral of this is that apparently everything can cause cancer. Right? Yes, smoking tobacco does give you a greater percentage chance to get cancer. I'm not going to deny that. However, when it comes to the different types of tobacco, cigarette smoke is the primary cause of lung cancer. When it comes to mouth cancer, chewing tobacco is next. When it comes to pipes or cigars, since they're usually enjoyed in fewer quantities and less frequently, they tend to not cause cancer. I will, of course, quote all of the great cigar smokers who lived to ripe old ages in their 80s and 90s. Winston Churchill, I think, lived into his 70s. C.S. Lewis lived into his 60s. None of these people died from cancer or anything related. So, just saying. What was I saying before I was interrupted? I forget. Yeah, so drink bottled water. It's okay. I'm officially giving you permission to drink bottled water. You don't need to worry about cancer, alright? It's not going to hurt you. Dharma Peace asks a really great question. He asks, what do some people chew on them for a chewing tobacco effect? The reason some people chew tobacco instead of setting it on fire is because the wetness of their mouth, they crunch up the tobacco, it mixes with the saliva, and it allows them to drink and absorb the nicotine faster. It's basically a way of getting the nicotine into your bloodstream faster, which is not something I'm actually interested in. I don't smoke the cigars because of the nicotine. I smoke the cigars because of the experience and because of the flavor, which is why I haven't actually tried snus. Someone mentioned, have you tried the Swedish smokeless tobacco called snus? I haven't tried it yet because I'm honestly not terribly interested in the nicotine. I'm more interested in the experience, which is why I smoke cigars. Solo Platypus says, where did you get your head? It looks really nice. Pleasure to have you here, Solo Platypus. Skuga94 says snus is good. I bet it really is. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not terribly interested in it. I may try it someday. Where did I get my hat? Scotchandsmokerings.com. If you click shop, there's a fine selection of hats. Find the derby. I know there's no icon, but there are a number of different derbies there, and you can get a great selection of these hats which are fulfilled through Amazon. That's how I get the hat. $30, not that expensive.
A half hour before each meal. Commence this easy, simple treatment tomorrow.
A lot of new people today. Odd Future 420 says, do you smoke weed? I do not. I'm not interested in doing anything illegal, anything that can get me in trouble, and I'm really not in it to feel any sort of effect from it. I don't sit here and smoke the cigar because it makes me feel all trippy and, whoa, look, the bright colors and the flashy. No, I smoke it because it's relaxing, because it's something to fiddle with my fingers, not because I get some sort of euphoric effect from it. Loranicus says, fact, 100% of all people who are exposed to water die. Indeed, sir, that is a fantastic stat. Correlation, not necessarily causation, but very true, right? If we're talking about pure stats, saying rainwater causes cancer. Bed sheets cause cancer. Do you have 2 webcams? Says Solo Platypus. Indeed. I don't know. I just figured you guys wanted to see this cheek. It's a good cheek. See the cheek. Greg Hartung says, elves cause cancer. Indeed they do. Stay away from those crooked elves. They look like women and they smell like hell. I'm saying, if you want to not die, kill elves. Quote me. Oxhorn says, if you want to not die, kill elves. Willa54 says, could you do a smoke ring for us? Indeed. Here we go. A few good ones in there, but not as many as I would have liked. There is a reason I call it Scotch and smoke rings, ladies and gentlemen. It's not all hot air. Cheers and bottoms up. By the way, stay tuned for the end where we will blow a smoke ship. That is a regular here at scotchandsmokerings.com. Inco Genie says, if you woke up in the morning and had no beard, how far would your agonizing screams go? Pretty doggone far. I think that the orcs in space would hear them. It would indeed be tragic. You know how Amish people love their beard? I'm definitely not Amish, but the greatest insult you could do to an Amish person would be to cut off his beard. That's kind of like how I feel. GrowABeardNow.com. I explain it all there. Beards, you know, there are 2 kinds of men. Those with beards and those with bigger beards. Grow a beard. Mormon? Now people are calling me Mormon? I get Jewish, I get Amish, I get Mormon. All wrong. Not that I have anything against those 3, but all wrong. I'm Irish. Alright, look, people grew beards in the past, and it was like a normal thing for people to have beards. You don't have to be part of a particular denomination or religion to grow a beard. Just saying. Oh, you meant Amish, says Bonzi44. Ah, gotcha. What brand of Scotch are you drinking today, and are you drinking it dry, says the Phantom Freak? I'm not drinking my favorite kind of Scotch today. Today I'm drinking Scoresby blended malt Scotch whiskey. It's alright. In terms of blended Scotch, it's one of my favorites. It's also one of the most inexpensive ones. I prefer Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich is probably my favorite brand. And then Lefroy is also a fantastic brand. But those are both single malt Scotches, a little bit more expensive, all very fine. But today, it's not too bad to go with Scoresby. Zeffy640 says, you don't sound Scottish or Irish. Look, there's a difference between culture and genetics. I am culturally American. I live in Seattle, Washington. I am genetically Irish. My ancestors hail from Ireland. So that is why I can say I'm an Irish American. ThunderGod91 says, stash? Indeed. I was tempted to come with my mustache gloss and kind of curl up the stash a bit. But I don't know. It takes time and effort. More people asking for smoke rings. Look, I'm happy to oblige. If every single person asked for smoke rings on this fine program, I would not say no. I would not say no. I almost held it like a woman holding a cigarette for a moment there. My apologies, that would be shameful. Loranicus is ready with his smoke ship idea. Ghoulbreath is getting ready to make his smoke ship idea. It seems like there's going to be a battle of smoke ships. I am looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. It is tradition at the end of this program that I blow a smoke ship into existence based on your suggestions. So feel free to come up with something interesting and I will do my very best. Forrest Ill on Twitter says, one can buy that hat in Chicago as well as from Amazon. I'm sure you could buy the hat from many places. So this isn't exactly a real derby. As you can see, I can push it in a little bit. Real, like genuine derbies are hard. If I were to do this, it would go knock, knock, knock. That's right, the original derbies from the early part of the 20th century were made with cloth that was really, really thick and hard because it was supposed to act as sort of a helmet. They were originally invented by people who rode on horses who wanted to wear top hats. But as they rode on horses, the wind would cause the top hat to fall off and it would bust. And so the guy who invented the derby was basically inventing a top hat that had less wind resistance so that they could ride on horses. That's how it originally formed. But they also wanted it to be hard so it could act as a little bit of armor. Venosi says, do you wish that you lived back in a time when people listened to this type of music and wore nice suits? No, but I have great respect for much of the culture of that time. Not all of the culture, obviously, there were great evils within that culture. But look, people dressed better back then. They had greater appreciation for the materials that went into their clothing. Now everybody's wearing like nylon and acrylic and polyester. Back then they wore wool and cashmere and cotton. And they just hung better on you. It was heavier fabric. It breathed. It was just a higher quality material. Yeah, now we can purchase a $13 t-shirt made in Taiwan. Or we could spend $30 on a fantastic 100% cotton shirt that may shrink a little bit, but it'll last you a good long time. That's what I'd prefer. They had a sense of style. They took great care in their appearance without becoming dandies and putting multicolored pastes in their hair and spiking it all up, or being a little bit of a hipster and wearing tight pants. You know, there's just a great distinction between the cultures of that time and the cultures now. Now people will write songs about telephones and umbrellas. Umbrella, 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 eh, eh, eh. Or you could listen to fantastic music back then that had 4-part harmonies and they were clever and witty. Istanbul, for example, by the Four Lads. A fantastic song. Look it up. Istanbul, not Constantinople. It was Istanbul, not Constantinople. Listen to that guy's pipes, man. That comes from his soul. That's like the Liberace of the 30s. Raya Grossi says, learn how to hold a cigar before you smoke it. My friend, I've got this cigar holding thing down pat. Thank you very much. This is how you hold a cigar. I know I was holding like this a moment ago. I apologize. I shouldn't have been holding it like this. This is something we covered at the beginning of the program. This is how ladies hold cigarettes. I am so sorry. This is not what I meant to do. This is how a gentleman holds a cigar. And I hope to be held to a high standard. So thank you very much. Rez Alive says, what the fuck am I watching? No. We don't use that kind of language here at ScotchAndSmokerings.com. No, we are a classy group of people at ScotchAndSmokerings.com. We use educated language. Things with more than 3 syllables. Interfastically. And you're watching epicness and class in human form. That's what you're watching. Bookmark it. Did you? Oh, yeah, don't turn the volume down. That would be bad. Ryu Wolf Girl says, okay, I realized that you submitted some fan art, and I'm looking at my inbox. Dozius Fresh says, Oxhorn, why didn't you say flack when he said what the fuck? Well, what the fuck could stand for flack, right? WTF, what the flack? Or you could substitute Bloit, WTB, what the Bloit? Bloit, Blit, Chack, Flack, Grat, and Walsh. Any of them would work. I encourage any of you to Google inventing swear words. It will educate you. It really will, in terms of the proper way to use expletives. And I did find the piece of fan art that was submitted to me, so I'm going to show it to you right now. This is by Dragon Wolf. Let's take a look at this. And I'm going to move this down so you can actually see it. Submitted by Dragon Wolf, we've got Epic Raiders. Oxhorn brand productions are Mortus, Oxhorn, and Staghorn. The Epic Raiders. I have to admit, that's very clever, and they are the Epic Raiders. Whoa, really high. Even though Staghorn is only level 33, right? You can be an Epic Raider and still only be level 33, am I right? No. No, you're not supposed to say no to that. Staghorn can be an Epic Raider even if he does lure every high-level monster in the zone. Dermer12 says, so do you stream every night? No, I don't. I stream every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. It's 7:50 right now, so feel free to do the math. Every Thursday night. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. ScotchandSmokerings.com, that is where the majority of the chat is taking place right now. I realize many of you are on Twitch TV, and that's fine. I've got the Twitch TV chat up here right now, but there's also a separate chat going on at ScotchandSmokerings.com, so feel free to join us then. Quantum Speed, my friend, you're late to the party. Quantum Speed says you don't puff smoke in your mouth, do it in your lungs. Do I have to? Okay, so I'm going to have to repeat myself, and it's okay. You're a newcomer. That's all right. There's no shame. When it comes to cigars, gentlemen enjoy cigars by bringing the smoke into their mouth, tasting the flavor, and then expelling it. They don't inhale the smoke. Never inhale the smoke when you're a cigar or tobacco pipe smoker. This is the pipe I smoked last night. It's a fantastic tobacco pipe. I was considering smoking it today. This is the one I smoked last week. I think many of you watched me smoke this one. And they follow the same rules. Take the smoke into your mouth. Taste it. Taste it. Enjoy the flavor. And then expel it. And then bid it farewell. Farewell, fine smoke. It was a pleasure having you here. Journey safely. T-Lad says, focus, people, focus. It does seem a little scattershot this week, right? I think it's because we have a few more viewers this week than normal. Newcomers to the show asking new questions, and that's okay, we love newcomers. Stay a while and listen. Bob the Murloc says, quickly, show is almost over, please play the penny whistle. I can play the penny whistle for you if you would like. What should I play? Normally you make great requests. What would you like me to play? I have to admit that I haven't practiced at all since I last played. And I promise, look, I'm not going to do anything from Lord of the Rings. I do get that often. The Great Kodo. Goobra says, you know what causes cancer? What? Now tell me, what causes cancer? Is it bottled water again? Hot cross buns? Play the Shire theme? I knew they were going to ask that. It's beginning to look a lot like this raid isn't going to happen. You open for the answer? Alright. Bacon. You want me to play bacon? Play bacon on my penny whistle? I wish I could. I could probably invent that ability. The starting music in WoW? Counter effect, says Shawarma. Those never exposed to water never were exposed to water. Indeed. You, sir, are connecting the dots. Alright. I'm going to play... To those who are familiar with Irish folk music, this song is called King of the Fairies. To those of you who are familiar with Oxhorn movies, as you all should be, this song is called The Great Kodo. I know, a little bit rusty on the fingers there, just a little bit rusty, but I managed to power through it. That's what you got to do when presented with new, interesting challenges. You got to put your head down, focus a little bit, and just power through it. My cigar is almost gone. I don't know if I'm going to have enough cigar left to do the smoke ship at the end. I'll do it, don't worry. I'm not backing out. We're going to do the smoke ship. Drink more, says Bones44. Can't say no to that. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. It's bottoms up and be happy. Loranica says, Ox, do a penny whistle smoke ring, please. Alright, here we go. Penny whistle smoke ring. Gangman style. Dead man wants me to listen to Gangman style. Or Gangman style. Oppa Gangman style. Nah, maybe next time. Chasing Shadow says, Oxhorn, where's your machinima at? It's at oxhorn.com. OXHORN.com. That's where you can find it. I got a few rings out of that. I would have preferred to close this, but I don't have enough fingers. Let's see, maybe if I do... Ah, that's slightly awkward. This particular penny whistle is not as good for this as my other one. That is really unsanitary, says Dennis Wolf, only if other people are going to be using this thing, but I'm the only one who uses this whistle. Therefore, it is not unsanitary. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is close to the end of the program. What are your smoke ship ideas? Let me know, give me your ideas, and I will do my very best to blow this into existence. Dermer12 says, what do you do for a living? I am the marketing manager for an internet technology company here in Seattle. I spend all day working on search engine optimization and search engine marketing. I just finished writing a white paper on booking engines for the hospitality industry. It may sound boring, but I enjoy it, and it pays the bills. Goldbreath says, a bacon-wrapped galleon escorted by a massive frigate with panda skin sails, sailing through a sea of scotch, firing lit cigars onto hippie ships, as Ox chews on a panda pizza while his chat friends watch Ox's new machinima showing multiple Tarn heroes running through Darnassus with 11 corpses in their wake, all to deliver their panda pizzas, cigars, and scotch orders to a lone orc prisoner deep in the city. Oh my gosh, Goldbreath, that was a mouthful. You overdid yourself. Your smoke ships are usually so great, and that one was fantastic. But my gosh, is there enough smoke in one puff that can encompass all of that? All right, let's see here. I'm going to... That was a really good one, but we're going to see what else the fans have. Loranica says, Ox in a gold-plated derby, shaped bacon tank. So it's a tank made of bacon shaped like a gold derby. Okay, I'm with you. Handing out cigar smoking and anti-water bottle brochures to the classy people and running over unclassy cigarette-smoking hipster pandas wearing polyester. That's pretty doggone fantastic, Lauren. I guess I have to say, you both did a fantastic job. Mustafa Prime says, greetings, Oxhorn. You may remember me from BlizzCon. I met you at a line in the name change area. Quite possibly, quite possibly. I meet a lot of people at BlizzCon, though. So I don't know if... Wait a minute. The name change area? I think I actually do remember you, yeah. I don't know your name, but I think I can picture you in my head. Anyway. Ironbark says, Oxhorn and Mortus raid a Pandarian frigate infested with panda pirates, plagued with cuteness cooties, and equipped with bamboo bubblegum blasters. I really enjoy the alliteration in that one, Ironbark. That was very nice. ThunderGod91 says, Ox and Stag sailing across a sea of bacon on an old-style derby, dressed in classy woolen coats, cashmere vests, and classy hats. Nice. Sipping scotch and pelting night elves with hot dogs, and Barnaby is in a top hat. Barnaby the Crab in a top hat? I can't deny that's actually pretty epic. Ostracectus says, Gulbreth and Loranicus fighting for who can come up with the best smoke ship idea, hat singing epic Mozart fighting music to create tension, Oxhorn and Zugzug watching carefully to decide a winner. Another good one. Oh, sorry about that. Can't hold the cigar that way. That's better. Tonight is a good night for smoke ships, says Gulbreth. Indeed, you all have fantastic ideas. It's going to be really hard for me to choose one. Meanwhile, says Ironbark, Thunk is following Hat around the ship while Hat places bacon mines, which explode pandas into tasty turkey legs, and that Thunk disposes of in his ogreish way, right? By eating the turkey. Yeah. I like that. So the explosion turns panda meat into turkey meat? I would like that hand grenade, sir. I would like it very much. Could you imagine if Blizzard put into the game grenades, when thrown at pandas, turn them into bacon? That would give me reason to play World of Warcraft every day. Every day I'd be running around throwing bacon grenades at pandas. Venosi says, do you do voiceovers of reading of books? Actually, I did read a book live on the show 2 weeks ago. The day Mists of Pandaria went live, I was reading a book here, so I guess I do. Balmy Palmy says, I don't know who you are, but I want to be your friend. Look, that's fine. You don't have to know who I am. I'm everybody's friend. Alright, you guys are wanting me to choose who did the best smoke ship, and this is really hard. Loranicus is getting a little arrogant. He's saying, you merely adopted smoke shippery, and I was born into it. Wow. Wow, sir. You are very good, I have to admit. Alright, Gulbreth, I really appreciate your passion. That was fantastic passion. But that's a lot of text. So I'm gonna probably not go with yours, even though it was fantastic, just because that's quite a mouthful. So let's see. There was another one I really liked. Thunder God, you had a really nice one. Nice one. Not quite as much action as I would like, but I do enjoy the cashmere. Alright, I'm just reading these again. Gosh, the pressure is on. They're all so good, I just don't know which one to choose. You know what? That's a good one. Alright. You know what? Actually, I enjoyed them all. And Loranicus, I really enjoyed yours too. I think I'm going to go with ThunderGod91 today. ThunderGod91, I think the cashmere is what got me. There are very few times in a man's life where somebody asks him to blow a smoke ship of cashmere. So here we go. Whoa, did you see it? For the briefest of moments, right there before your eyes was a beautiful painting and nothing but smoke. Ox and stag were sailing across a sea of bacon on an old-style derby, dressed in classy woolen coats, cashmere vests, and classy hats, sipping scotch and pelting night elves with hot dogs. And Barnaby was in a top hat. I know, I don't know how I do it. It's just all this talent right here, focused on a smoke ship at the end of the show. You know, the only one in the world, right? Aside from Gandalf. But the only one in the world with this rare talent. Chasing Shadow says, wow, I've seen a lot of Machinima videos and I had no idea it was you until now. Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm glad you've seen all my videos. Oxhorn.com if you want to see them all. Is my cigar out? Ah, no. Well, cigar is out. And that is the name of the game. The show is coming to an end. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 167. For those of you who are new, you can watch replays at scotchandsmokerings.com, where I've got a shop and you can purchase hats like this, or you can watch previous episodes. All of my Machinima movies, my World of Warcraft Machinima movies, are at oxhorn.com. And thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. As we say here at scotchandsmokerings.com, be sure, my friends, to stay classy.